Today's episode is brought to you by Microsoft Dragon Copilot, your AI assistant for clinical workflow, helping to ease administrative burden, automatically document care, streamline your workflow. How many workflows do you have?
About 1 million.
I've got the same on the medical side of things. And all of this, Microsoft Dragon Copilot helps to promote a more focused clinician-patient experience, which is really what it's all about, just trying to make your job a little bit easier. Learn about how Dragon Copilot can transform the way you work. Visit aka.ms/knock-knock-hi. Again, that's aka.ms/knock-knock-hi.
Knock, knock. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Knock Knock Eye with me, your host, Dr. Glaucomflecken, your one-stop shop for all things eyeball related. We have a very special episode today. This is going to be a two-parter because I am turning 40. I am about like 2 days from now. By the time you hear this, these come out about a week after I record them. I will have turned 40. So I'm essentially 40 years old. 40. I remember when my parents turned 40. Like for a long time, that's like, when as you grow up, it's like your parents are a certain age in your mind. For a long time, it was like 40. Like my parents were always 40. And now I'm at that age. It's still coming to terms with it. I'm okay with it. Like I'm lucky to even be here at 40. And so it's an interesting time, I guess, in my life. And I will say I just got back from my 40th birthday gift from my family. They sent me to see the Chiefs in Kansas City. I saw the Chiefs and Ravens play and had a wonderful time. My 10-year-old actually ponied up all of her money because she makes money like doing stuff with Glaucomflecken. And it's like she mans the merch table when we do our live shows. And so she's like this cute little kid with blonde curly hair. And she's like, "Don't you want this picture of my dad?" And so she upsells people. She's really good at it too. She's very extroverted, a lot of personality. And so she's always like very thoughtful in terms of like gift giving. She loves birthdays and holidays and just everything. And so she actually put her money up to contribute for this gift, which is obviously very expensive to go to a Chiefs game. We were sitting second row, 40-yard line. I could see the happiness on Patrick Mahomes' face as he was coming off the field after scoring a touchdown. I could see Kelsey, everybody. You could kind of make out some of the things they were saying. Not really. They were a little bit too far away, but it was like being that close and like just seeing how they interact with each other. Really cool. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is my adopted son. As a Texas Tech fellow Texas Tech alum, I was shouting Texas Tech things at him to try to get him to come over and say hi to us. It did not work. I did not expect it to. It's probably like, who is the crazy Texas Tech fan sitting and yelling at things at me? But anyway, it was great. My kid painted her face. We had our jerseys on. I was wearing Mahomes jersey. He was wearing a Kelsey jersey. And I was there. I was there in case there was any kind of eye problem on the field. I was ready. I lost contact, a corneal abrasion. I didn't have any Preparacaine with me, but I could have recommended that and certainly told the player to see an eye doctor first thing in the morning. It was a Sunday, after all. It's hard to find ophthalmologists on the weekend. And but there were no eye emergencies. No, nothing for me to take. I would have absolutely helped though, absolutely. And it was not only just fun being there in the stadium, Arrowhead Stadium, but it was a great game for the Chiefs. There's like the least. The lowest stress game that the Chiefs, I feel like, have had in like 2 years. It was great. Had just a good time. Got to do some tailgating. Had some good barbecue while I was in Kansas City. Really love that city. I really do. And I already want to go back and go to another game. It was just a lot of fun. The day before the Chiefs game, I was in Denver speaking at the American Academy of Pediatrics. And so I just want to say a few words about that. Wonderful people. I mean, they're pediatricians. They're awesome. It was a packed house uh, for the keynote session. There were a few people talking, including me, and it was in this big, beautiful theater at the Denver Convention Center, and they packed about 6,000 people into this theater, with some people in the overflow room as well. It was awesome, and a lot of unicorn headbands, hundreds of unicorn headbands. It was amazing to see. I came out wearing a unicorn headband, and let me tell you, don't underestimate pediatricians. Don't do it. They are fiery. They are fired up, you guys. They obviously, like, things are tough right now for them. Like, not only do they feel disrespected and underappreciated in healthcare, in part because of low reimbursement and Medicaid cuts. It's like everything is just all these slights against, like, the field of pediatrics, and the lack of attention and value placed upon them. It's awful. So there's, like, that aspect of it, but also just misinformation for years has really disproportionately affected the world of pediatrics, right? The anti-vax stuff is nothing new. It's just taken a whole new level now that the government's getting involved in promoting hesitancy, vaccine hesitancy, or, like, straight up just anti-vax sentiments. And so but hearing their president speak before I went up, just, oh, they're united. They're ready to fight for children, for vaccinations, for evidence-based medicine. A lot of talk about research and evidence, and so man, I do not want to get on the bad side of pediatricians, because they will do whatever, and I've known this about them. They'll do whatever it takes for kids. There's just something different about pediatricians. And that's evidence. On this podcast, we had a U.S. representative about a year and a half ago, who I asked, like, what do you think about all of these doctor groups every year that come and ask you for stuff? Because the ophthalmologists do it. I've been a part of that, right? You go, you talk to your representatives, and you ask for things. And they said, well, and this person said, I think it was Katie Porter. She said that they always know what's going to happen, what they're going to ask for before they even ask for it. All right, it's like number one on the list is increased reimbursement. Like, clearly, and that's an important thing, and there's a reason that we advocate for that, right? Because it constantly every year goes down, even though costs go up. Even though hospital reimbursement goes up, no, physician reimbursement continues to go down. So there's a reason that we all advocate for this. But she said that the pediatricians are different. Like, yeah, it's important to them. The reimbursement's important to them, but the first thing out of their mouth is not about reimbursement. It's usually about something that directly impacts care of children, whether it's Medicaid cuts, whether it's gun violence is a big one. It's like that it comes across in the government's interaction, these representatives' interactions with pediatricians. Like, clearly, these people are fierce advocates for children, and so that it just says a lot. That alone really tells you everything you need to know about pediatricians and what is in their hearts, and what motivates them to keep fighting against all this wave of misinformation from the government, from the wellness industry, from whoever it is. It just motivates them to keep fighting that fight, because it's nothing new to them. The rest of us are just catching up, right? Like now that the misinformation has reached like peak HHS, like government levels, like now everyone's feeling it. Pediatricians are like, what took you so long? This is this is the every day of the week for us. It's just like what our life has been. This is what it means to practice as a pediatrician. You deal with all of this stuff. And so I just, it really, being there around all the pediatricians, it just kind of drove home for me how much they've dealt with, and the fact that they're able to keep their 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 motivation, their joy of taking care of kids. I go to a lot of conferences. I talk to a lot of different specialty groups. It's different. This pediatrics conference, AAP, they're motivated, and I expected morale to be really low, and maybe it is. I'm sure it is for a lot of pediatricians. It certainly didn't come across at the conference. A lot of residents, a lot of trainees, a lot of students, and so I think they're going to keep fighting, and as should we all, around all this misinformation stuff. So it was a busy weekend for the Glaucomflecken family. And the Chiefs game, the pediatricians. I was looking forward to that pediatrics conference for a long time too. So I was excited to do that. I hope I did their conference justice. I was a little nervous about that one. Just because I wanted to make sure it was a good show. I wanted to make sure that they had a good time, because I just imagine they're, just knowing what they're having to deal with right now. I was like, I'd want to at least make you laugh. And so I did my classic line when I first came out. I was like, well, look at this. You finally got an ophthalmologist to come in on a Saturday. This is great. That started things off pretty well. And it was a great audience. Took a lot of pictures with folks. Just a good time. Just a good time. Highly recommend that conference. I did expect in the exhibit hall, I expected more babies I could hold. I don't know. Maybe that's just me coming off a veterinary conference where there was like a big thing full of puppies that you could go and kind of hang out with. I was like, maybe they have that for kids. No, definitely not. I can understand how that might be a little bit of a different thing, to have like just a pen full of uh, children to play with. I don't know. I wouldn't mind holding a baby though. Babies are. I love holding babies. Who doesn't love holding a baby with their new baby smell? It's great. All right, we're veering off already on this podcast. So let's take a break. We'll come back. I've got a special 40th birthday thing we're going to do. Hey, Kristen.
Yeah.
I know that you love when I talk about the cute little mites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I thought we could take a break from that. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Yeah, because I'd like to focus on the eyelid symptoms and disease that an overgrowth of Demodex causes.
Okay, I like that idea. No mite talk.
So Demodex blepharitis, it often gets misdiagnosed or just missed entirely because a lot of symptoms overlap with other eye conditions.
Okay, so what are the top symptoms that people should look out for?
Usually itching along the eyelid margins, swelling, irritation, redness.
That sounds like it could be allergies or lots of other things, too.
It could be a lot of things, but exactly. And the key is if your doctor spots crusties on the margin of the eyelid.
Mm-hmm. Technical term.
Well, we call them collarettes, but crusties is a good term. That tells you it's Demodex blepharitis right there.
Well, I really like that there's a clear sign to know for sure.
And once you're diagnosed, there's a prescription eye drop treatment available for this disease.
Ooh, that is good to know.
To learn about the common symptoms of Demodex blepharitis and more, visit miteslovelids.com. Again, that's miteslovelids.com to learn more. This ad is brought to you by Tarsus Pharmaceuticals. Okay, so I'm 40, the big 40. I'm over the hill, more like on top of the hill. Like I feel, well, maybe I can have a little bit more to go. I don't know. I don't feel like I've reached the peak of my career or the peak of my life yet. I hope not. But what I thought I'd do is I have learned a lot of things over the course of my 40 years. And so I thought maybe what I could do, I've been brainstorming for the past few days, different pieces of advice. And so for the next 2 weeks, both this week and next week on this podcast, I'm just going to give a total of 40. Maybe I'll stretch it if I come up with more stuff to like talk about. But I'll just let's just do advice. 40 pieces of advice from Dr. Glaucomflecken on his 40th birthday. All right. Birthday advice. So this is going to be very haphazard and random. Like I did, this is not, I just, whatever came to my mind. It's, in fact, I just thought of one right now. So I'm just going to, again, it's not organized. Some of it's eyeball related, obviously, because I couldn't do this without giving you some eyeball advice. But some of it's just life advice or just random things. All right. So we'll jump into it. All right. We'll go into, so we're going to just try to do, I'm going to aim for 20 pieces of advice today. And then next week, come back, next week's episode, 20 more pieces of advice. If you guys really like this, I could probably come up with more too. So let's see. All right. First thing, don't submerge your head in a hot tub. Saw one of my worst corneal ulcers, a Pseudomonas ulcer that I've seen in the past 10 years was due to hot tub misadventure. You don't submerge, certainly don't open your eye. It doesn't matter if you submerge. Like don't submerge your head. You don't do that in a hot tub. All right. Bad things live in moist, humid environments, including our old friend King Pseudomonas, creating biofilms everywhere he goes. He jumps onto the cornea, he digs into the epithelium, and he just sits there and replicates. And you get this big thing that's takes forever to heal. Sometimes it can melt the cornea. King Pseudomonas, it can melt through the cornea, and you end up with an open globe, and it requires surgery. And so, one of the worst ulcers I ever saw was most likely related to it was a hot tub use and a contact lens wear. I don't even feel like super comfortable in a hot tub. And I say that as a hot tub owner. We have a hot tub out there. I really don't use it that much. I know how to be safe in it. And my kids certainly know, like, they'll be disowned if they ever submerge their head in a hot tub. It's not like that's that serious, you guys. All right. I'll probably be talking about it on my kids, if they ever get married, I'll talk about it on their wedding day. Don't listen. Advice as a married couple: just don't submerge your head in the hot tub. I don't know. Out of nowhere, but anyway. So that's one. That's the first thing here. Okay, next one. Don't argue with people online. I've learned this the hard way. I've starting on Twitter in 2016 as Dr. Glaucomflecken. When you first start and you have a small audience, uh, it's easy to, in fact, it's encouraged. I encourage people to do this when you're first starting out on social media. You're trying to build up a presence, interact with people online. That's a good way to do it. And you can do it. That's something that you have control over versus me. I have, everything I put out there, I get hundreds, if not thousands of comments. There's no way I can interact with people regularly. It would take up all my time. Right. But when you first start out, you can actually like have conversations with people. You can interact. You can respond to comments that people leave on your content. And it's a great way to like build rapport with your following, right? And that just helps get you more followers. And so I encourage that. But one thing you don't want to do is engage in the trolls and get into arguments. No good. Nothing, I feel very comfortable saying this. Nothing good has ever come out of an argument on a social media platform. Zero good things. It's not debate. All right. It's not, you're not, it's just bad. It just makes it makes you feel bad. The other person feels bad. Not because they hurt someone's feelings, just that feel like, oh, this feels gross to argue with someone. I don't even know what they look like. I've never seen this person in my life. And all these hundreds of thousands of people are reading these comments and seeing us argue with each other. It's gross. Don't do it. Don't do it. And what are you trying to accomplish? Trying to change the other person's mind? Trust me, you can't. I'm not ready to say nobody's ever changed their opinion from something they saw online, or I should say from social media arguments, but I'm like close to saying that. It's very, very unlikely. You don't. That's not how you get someone to your side, is to argue with them online. Not going to happen. Not going to do anything productive. Just going to take your time. And guess what? We got a limited amount of that. All right. So don't argue with people online. All right. Next piece of advice: floss. That's it. Just floss. I've been cavity free all my life. I hate going to the dentist, but I am because I hate going to the dentist. I am a religious tooth manager. What am I trying to say? I'm very diligent in my oral hygiene. That's what I'm trying to say, because I don't want to have any problems. I don't want drills and things in my mouth. So I am a very religious flosser. I floss. I use the good floss too. It's like thick floss, like great floss, something my dentist recommended. So ask your dentist what floss they recommend and use that floss. Do it every day. Do it every day. You don't want cavities. You don't want drills. No drills. Even though I've used a drill around the eye before, but just nothing in the mouth. The eye drills are fine. Tooth drills, that seems worse to me. That could just be me though. All right, next. When you make a mistake, before you react, and I'm going to use an example. Say you miss your flight, all right, or even probably more relatable, you oversleep, all right. When you make a mistake like that, just stop before you do anything and take like 30 seconds of just slow, steady breathing. I'm one of these people, and my wife will tell you, I tend to just freak out. My brain short circuits. I can't do anything productive. I can't make decisions because I have this massive adrenaline rush because I hate being late. I'm a very punctual person. And so when you make a mistake, no matter what it is, whether you're in an OR or something, or when something bad happens that you made a mistake, all right, take a deep breath and just give yourself like 30 seconds if you can, where you don't make a decision, where you just calm yourself down, calm your body down, let that adrenaline rush wear off a little bit, because then you'll think more clearly. All right. I know there a lot of people feel that. You get that panic feeling, like, oh, I just screwed up. Panic. Just calm down. Don't do anything rash. Don't make any decisions that you're going to regret before you just take a beat. Deep breath. Calm your body down. All right. And this is advice that I'm not good at taking myself, but I have gotten better at it. I realize what's happening. For a long time, I didn't realize what was happening until my wife kept saying, "Okay, stop what you're doing. Just breathe, relax. All right, we'll figure this out." She's my muse when it comes to figuring, not letting my panic brain make all the decisions. Okay. Next piece of advice: take a CPR class. There's no way I'm going to get through 20. So this might take a while. Maybe I'll just try to go faster. Take a CPR class. Big one, because, as you probably all know, I had a cardiac arrest in my sleep. Kristen did 10 minutes of chest compressions and saved my life. Because for a long time, I just thought, I'm the physician. If something happens, we're out and about, we're on a flight, and there's a medical emergency, I'll respond. My wife doesn't need to do that. All right. Well, guess what? I was the one that needed chest compressions. Never once thought, hey, Kristen, let's get you signed up for a CPR class. Let's have you learn this. Stupid. All right. So I know everybody listening, I know a lot of you are healthcare professionals, you know CPR, but I guarantee you know somebody in your life, someone close, family, friend, whoever, that does not know CPR. All right. That's who you need to talk to. Go tell them. You should really take a CPR class. You never know. The vast majority of the time when someone does CPR, it's for a loved one. When you least expect it, that idle Tuesday, something happens. All right. Take a CPR class. Don't post after midnight. Just like nothing good comes from arguments with people on social media, nothing good comes from posting anything after midnight. Okay? And by the way, you're not going to sleep well. All right? I've been there. I've posted things trying to get a rile people up, and I just go to bed. I don't sleep well. I wake up early. I have to check my notifications, see how the post is doing. Just don't do it. Don't post anything right before you go to sleep. Don't post anything after midnight. Don't post anything before you get on a flight where you might not have Wi-Fi. Say you're crossing the Pacific Ocean to Australia. Don't post anything before you're going to lose internet access, because one thing I do whenever I post a piece of content, a video, whatever, I check for a few minutes to make sure it's landing how I want it to land before I log off and put my phone away. All right. You don't want to be surprised later whenever you open up your phone or you wake up in the morning and you check your phone and all of a sudden you have 1,000 one-star reviews on Google. All right. So don't post after midnight. Don't use Visine. You guys know this. Visine, come on, it causes rebound hyperemia. It basically it kills off parts of the little bits of your eye. Not really, but it's Visine and other redness relievers are designed to get you hooked on Visine. That's the purpose of it. It doesn't treat the actual reason why your eyes are red. It just masks the symptoms until they come roaring back worse than ever. Don't use Visine. In fact, go throw your Visine away right now. All right. Vision checks. Check your vision. Check your kid's vision by the age of 4 years old. All right. The rule of thumb is by age 4, kids with normal vision have 20/40 vision. 20/40 by age 4. Just remember, that's what you can remember developmentally. And so most schools require a vision check by the pediatrician before starting elementary school, before starting kindergarten. But so I definitely recommend that or an eye doctor or whatever is, I would say 4 years old, because by that point, kids can pretty reliably do an exam, participate in an exam, read letters or at least symbols on the chart, and follow finger, do eye motility. It's just you'll get a better exam the older the kid gets. 4 years old is really I'd say the start of where you can really get a good idea of the overall health of the visual system. All right, so get your kid a vision exam, a vision check by age 4. All right, let's take a break. All right, we're back. More advice for what am I calling this? Advice for turning 40. Not like for 40-year-olds, just life advice at age 40. How about that? Dr. Glock's life advice at age 40. All right, next one. Don't put glass panels on your ceiling. Now, this might seem very specific because it has affected my life in a very particular way. So growing up, in the house I grew up in Texas, my parents bought a house, like it was like they bought it like 1985 or something. And the previous owners up in the upstairs, there was like one room upstairs. It was barely a room at all. But um, uh, they had put like strips of like glass, like mirror. It was a mirrors on the ceiling. I know what you're thinking, and I don't want to go there because I have no idea why the previous owners put mirrors on the ceiling, but they were there. I think maybe it was just a thing that people did in the 80s or 70s or something. The point is, though, that one day when I was probably like 8 or 9, I had all my friends over for a haunted house for my birthday. My birthday, October 2nd. And so October birthday, we had a big haunted house. We decorated up there. It was kind of a spooky room to begin with. Uh, all my friends came over, had a great time, probably 20, 25 kids coming up and down into that room. experience having fun in the haunted house, getting scared, running downstairs, running back up. It's just in and out. Well, the following week, literally days after that party, my sister and I were alone in the house. She's 5 years older than me. She was babysitting. And we heard the almost it actually felt like a plane had just crashed outside the house. The loudest boom I'd ever heard. Just boom, like that. And we were like, what is going on? We looked outside, we didn't see anything. We went upstairs. Thousands of shards of glass everywhere. All of those mirrors had fallen down at the same time and shattered. And if that had happened while 25 little 8-year-olds were up doing a haunted house in that room, I might be dead, number one. Number two, my parents surely would be in prison right now because that would have killed several. It was like even thinking about it freaks me out. Scariest thing. So life advice: don't put mirrors on your ceilings. Okay, that's a weird one. Oh, here's one. Okay. We'll do a few more and then we'll get to 40 eventually. All right. So just maybe it might take 2 or 3 episodes or maybe 4. I don't know. Okay. Here's one. Learn Spanish. I, for some reason, decided to take German in high school. And I still don't know why my parents allowed me to do that. I wish they had sat me down and be like, this is ridiculous. Why do you want to take German? You live in Texas. Are you interested in medicine? Why are you not taking Spanish? You're not going to take German. Sometimes parents need to step in and save us from ourselves. This is one of the instances. It would have been great for me to learn. Now, all I know is my directions. I know derecha, izquierda, abajo, arriba, because I have to tell some patients what direction to look. Mira abajo, por favor. Mira izquierda. That's about it. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I need to learn it. What's the best resource? Is it Babbel? What's the thing that I always hear ads for? I don't know. Anyway, all right. Just so learn Spanish. All right, just conversational Spanish, basic Spanish. Like just learn it. Learn it. If don't let your kid in Texas take German, please. Spanish is where it's at. Good Lord. My kids know better Spanish than I do. They do Spanish in school. Anyway, get cataract surgery early. This is one you probably heard me say this before. Don't wait until your 80s and 90s. No 90-year-old should still have a cataract because the longer you wait, the worse the cataracts get. The older you get, the more difficult the surgery is, the higher the risk, the sicker the patient. Early cataract surgery. So in your 70s, really, it should be in your 70s. All right. Some people can get into their 80s who really don't have much cataract. It's bizarre. Some people just really have very little cataract. Usually it's the people that have worn sunglasses all their life because UV light progresses cataracts. They also don't have diabetes. Diabetes progresses cataracts. So you will see some people that get to like pushing 90 and still don't have real severe cataracts, but everybody by the age of 90 needs to have cataract surgery. There's no reason not to. They're visually significant. Insurance will cover it. Get it done. Get it done. I'd recommend by 80, honestly. All right. Drive your kids around. We'll do a few more, then we'll wrap up. One thing I've learned as a dad of 2 girls. One is a 13-year-old who doesn't talk as much as she used to, but has always been kind of quiet, is once they get with their friends, they just chatter. They forget you're there. They forget you're in the car sometimes, which is amazing because I'm not hiding. Like they know I'm there, but they'll just talk. They'll talk about school. They'll talk about friends. They'll talk about the music they like. Just it's like a little window into your teenager's brain that they try to, like, they don't want to give you, they don't want to show you that one-on-one, they don't want to have a conversation with their parents at that age, it's like they just kind of do their own thing. But when they're with their kids in the car, it's like I don't even exist. So I think it's awesome because I just sit there and listen. Yeah, I don't try to. Sometimes I'll try to talk to them and we'll have a little bit, but I just listen. And it's funny because I remember at one point I made a post about this. I think it was on Twitter, back when Twitter was still Twitter, about this very thing. And I got some angry responses. I was like, "Oh, so you're just eavesdropping on your kids?" No. What do you mean I'm eavesdropping? I'm driving them around. They're literally 3 feet behind me in the car. What do you mean eavesdropping? I can't tell. What is it? Hey guys, just to let you know, teenage girls, just to let you know, I'm here. And I'm going to be listening to everything you're saying. Like what are you talking about? Eavesdropping. I'm just sitting there. I can't help it if I just hear what's happening in the car. That was another one of those things. Remember, don't argue with people online. You see comments like that, leave it alone. Not worth it. All right, we'll wrap up with anyway, the driving kids around, like, offer to drive. Like, be the driver. Drive them to school if you can. Drive, just go on road trips. And it's just a way to, like, learn stuff about your kids, and what's going on in their life. What are the things that they're interested in? And I think it's a great thing to do as a parent. And the last thing for this episode is I would say some people might not agree with me on this one. Get LASIK by the time you're 30 or don't get it at all. Now, this applies, I'm talking mainly to, like, the mild myopes. Like, some people who are like a -6, -7 who qualify for LASIK, like, it's still a life-changing procedure well into your 30s. But once you turn 40, folks, all right, then your near vision starts to go. And so let's say you get LASIK, you're nearsighted, you're -2, all right? You get LASIK when you're 39 because finally you can afford it, right? It's expensive. Well, guess what? When you turn 41 or 42, well, you're going to have to start wearing reading glasses, and promise you, you're not going to like that. So I'm real hesitant to recommend LASIK to people who have mild myopia who are in their 30s. Because once you hit your 40s, you're actually going to love your nearsightedness because all your friends who aren't nearsighted, they're going to be in reading glasses, but you're still going to be just hanging out, wearing your glasses for distance like you've been doing all your life, but you'll be able to read just fine up close. Of course, why would you read up? I guess you could read far away, but reading up close. So anyway, the most bang for your buck for LASIK is in your 20s. And it's a kind of a catch-22 thing, right? Because nobody can afford LASIK in their 20s. So it kind of sucks, right? But really, that's the best time to get LASIK is like late 20s. I'd say early 30s at the latest, all right? Because you're going to have more years of glasses independence that way versus getting it 40 and over. All right. I think we'll wrap it up there. So I've got, let's see, let me count how many I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, we got pretty close. We got 13 pieces of advice. I owe you 27 more, okay? And we'll get there. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment on our YouTube channel at Glaucomfleckens. All right, I tried to read. I didn't go through any comments today because we were doing this thing. But I'll try to, with these episodes, I'll try to see. I want to see if you guys agree with me on this stuff, or if you disagree, or you have your own life advice. For those of you I only want to hear life advice from people over 40. Not to say that people under 40 can't have good advice for people, but this is what we're doing right now. All right, people over 40, give me your life advice. All right. I'll include that as part of this little series of episodes we're doing. And so, yeah, leave a comment on the YouTube channel at Glaucomfleckens. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I'm your host, Will Flannery, also known as Dr. Glaucomflecken. Thanks to our executive producers, Will Flannery. I am my own executive producer. My executive producer, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brick. Editor and engineer, Jason Portizo. Our music is by Omer Benz V. Knock Knock I is a human content production. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Knock, knock. Goodbye.
Hey, Will,
Hey, what's up?
I've been thinking the U.S. healthcare system, it needs some improvement.
Yeah, there's room for improvement. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's a confusing, scary place for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
Physicians, families, patients, everybody.
Everybody. And I've experienced it from both sides, right? I'm a physician. I've also been a patient. So I wanted to use my platform to give people practical education, really the only way that I know how, by making jokes. So Dr. Glaucomflecken's really fun and super uplifting guide to American healthcare is out. And it's a free resource that includes all my videos from the 30 Days of Healthcare series, alongside deeper explanations, also reliable facts, emphasis on reliable.
Yes.
All right. Figures, numbers, insights into how each of us can fight for a more humane, better healthcare system. Also, it has jokes.
Did you mention the jokes?
I did. Jokes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely jokes.
Well, this guide is great for anyone looking to learn more about U.S. healthcare, but especially if you are experiencing it from the clinician side for the first time.
That's right.
We really hope you'll check it out.
Get the free guide sent straight to your inbox by signing up for our mailing list, glaucomflecken.com/healthcare. Enjoy. Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts, or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.